In today's news, we have numerous bombshell announcements coming from the World Economic Forum DAVOS 2024 event. The first coming from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Now, it is already a huge deal that Ripple are attending such a systematically important event, and in this interview, we can hear Brad Garlinghouse repeatedly comment on Gary Gensler and his eventual dismissal as SEC chairman.
Chair of the SEC, Gary Gensler, has become a political liability in the United States. And I think he's not acting in the best interest of the citizenry. He's not acting in the best interest of the long-term growth of the economy. I don't understand it. And I think at some point, there will be a new chair of the SEC, and I think that'll be a good thing for the American people.
There were a couple of interesting things after that Bitcoin ETF was approved in that statement. One, and I paraphrase here, was effectively Gary Gensler saying, just because we allowed the Bitcoin ETF, don't think we're now going to allow a bunch of other crypto assets. The second interesting thing was the price of Ether skyrocketed immediately after on hopes that there could now next be an ETH ETF. What are the chances of that?
I think it's a certainty. We have a Bitcoin ETF only because a U.S. court said to the SEC, you're being arbitrary and capricious in your application of the law. What would be sad is if every ETF had to go through that same journey and for Gary Gensler to get smacked down by the U.S. court system again. That might be necessary, but again, at some point, I think Gary Gensler won't be the chair of the SEC, and that'll be a good thing for the American people.
The future that Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple envision is not far away. It's one without Gary Gensler and with Ripple and crypto's takeover of the future monetary system. And in that regard, we've got another bombshell here from XRP drops. Again, DAVOS 2024 WEF. In this interview, we can hear Coinbase on crypto regulations this year 2024, stating what you see is now 80% of the G20 countries that now have crypto regulations.
What you see is now 80% of the G20 countries have crypto regulation. So MiCA is a great example in Europe. We announced that we were putting our MiCA hub in Ireland. And MiCA is a great regulation that's custom to crypto. But you see that in Japan, you see that in Singapore, you see that in many countries around the world, big financial centers. And so we're optimistic the US jumps into this and gets this right, but we're definitely seeing a lot of thoughtful regulation in many countries.
This is absolutely massive news and confirmation once more that crypto is coming to every person on the planet once the regulations are here, and they are very close to being here. Crypto will take over, and this is far bigger than the internet. Ripple and XRP are guaranteed to be a bit of CBDCs worldwide and soar to the moon. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Good day and good night.